What's going on? It's your man Mousy, baby. 219 Chiefs for Life. Me and West connected. And once again, GoFundMe is not life insurance. And on this one, man, we about to get at y'all. I want to talk to y'all about this East Coast drill. Seemed like to me, man, I saw this little lightweight documentary on my man. And shout out to my man, Gatekeeper, you know what I'm saying? With the video, he articulated very well. We got the video here, man. We just want to react to this. Let me know what y'all think about this New York drill movement and these youngsters, man. How they moving out here. Seem a lot like Chicago to me, man. Seem a lot like Chicago to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing a lot of similarities in the Chicago movement and this movement right here. So I want y'all to let me know what y'all think. We got the mayor right here about to let you.
No idea what drill rapping was. I called my son. He sent me some videos, and it is alarming.
At one time, the Bronx was a thriving community. That started to change.
Where y'all niggas at, bro? We got more long niggas out. Y'all just pissing on my son, Goon Ward. Nigga, y'all niggas is bugging.
You did somebody who died. His name was Ra.
Yeah. Before he died, 2 days before he died, he said, I'm going to kill you when I see you. Look how that worked.
These individuals want to get credit for the harm that they're doing.
The gangs are accused of operating out of public housing and often stalk enemies in broad daylight.
Why y'all running up Dolly? Why you running? Why y'all running? We are allowing music, displaying of guns, violence. We're allowing it to stay on these sites.
Hi, what is up, everybody? We're gonna talk about New York drill, probably one of the wildest scenes in rap, period. 7 years ago, there was a huge explosion with Brooklyn drill, and the feds started doing gang sweeps, taking everybody down.
Let's see, it started off when Brooklyn with Pop Smoke them. And mind y'all now, the only reason I feel like I could touch on this, I lived in New Jersey, you know what I'm saying, for over 10 years, Newark, that's my second home. So I was out there, you know what I'm saying, from like 97 to 2007, 2008 and beyond, man. And I saw the movement. I saw the street politics, the Midwest, and that West Coast gang movement start coming out to that East Coast, man, with the blood thing. And it's like the thing and the GDs and, it's out there. Once it get out there, it spread like cancer, man. But what they doing is how the guys in Chicago, the King Vons, Dirk them, Def BG Duck them, when they was back and forth on the video, they was doing that years ago. These little dudes, the last 2-3 years, just started doing that. So it's just like that influence of that Midwest gangster. When I say Midwest connected, baby, that influence of what we do or what, not we, but but what's the way it's done back at Gary, Chicago, which that was really a Chicago thing. They're recording yourself and going to do. But look at what they doing, man.
One by one. It got so crazy. You got shootings happening in Times Square involving established rappers.
Fire in Times Square. Police have made an arrest. 20-year-old Kumina Elijah of Brooklyn.
Since 2017, the NYPD has used facial recognition technology, or FRT, in 22,000 cases.
They looking right in the camera.
Because there's so many cameras in New York, the internet gets their hands on the footage of their favorite rappers involved in shootouts and moving traffic, stabbings, beatings near delis. I mean, some of the songs that were going viral. Every other line was someone smoking on someone's dead ops. Crews would boast about those same
smoking on ops. Came from Chicago.
Crimes and put them in music videos like they were Easter eggs. You had the city's mayor, Eric Adams, coming out in a press conference wanting to ban drill music, even expanding and investing into different departments that tracks everybody.
That new mayor of New York, he like, yo, we tapping into this drill. They watching them, they watching their phone, they watching their social media. So it's a whole new vibe. See, Charles and White wasn't getting at them. He need to go to New York and get these little ones, they giving you what you're looking for out here too now. That's why it's hard to OG them and send them the right way. They all got straps to poke, man. Ain't nobody trying to deal with that.
But his page is online.
Much of that work is done here at the NYPD's Real-Time Crime Center.
Real-time crime about what they're doing. Social media has proven to be an invaluable tool.
A few years ago, the Bronx took over. Maybe one of the sickest boroughs in the city.
The society in the Bronx is horrible.
Rappers from the Bronx to stop using.
Remind you, he said social media is an invaluable tool, meaning They watching them putting it on social media, but they ain't stopping nothing because they before y'all get on it, they done rolled down on him in the same day, got his location and went and shot him.
The music to encourage shootings.
I remember in the 90s, kids were throwing fridges off the roofs of the River Park Tower projects in the Bronx. And now the kids from RPT are getting indicted by the dozens on federal racketeering and gang conspiracy charges.
Shout out to T. Johnny, yo. I used to be up in Harlem, 186 Amsterdam, you know what I'm saying? 185th in Amsterdam. Right up there in St. Nick, 185th in St. Nick's, right up there by the Bronx Stadium when you cross over the bridge, bro. So I'm feeling, yeah. I saw the change. It wasn't this then, though.
Charges.
Niggas don't care about me my whole life. Only been like 3 months. Like niggas really forgot about me already. Like.
The government trying to pin them for everything from murder all the way to animal cruelty. Talking about one of the most infamous drill voices in the scene, D-Thang, who was talking shit to a pigeon on an Instagram live stream with his boys, then shooting it dead for 100 viewers.
Your little man's right here. Dog, wait. You gonna pick him up? I can't look.
See, everything in New York was getting done for clout, followers, and numbers. With shootings spiking from 200 all the way to 500 last year. It's all young kids, aged 13 and 15, maneuvering the back alleys and the looping hills in the Bronx, using scooters to carry out hits in broad day.
And all that killing, how many of them parents got life insurance on them kids, bro? If you know your son is out here, you see him in videos holding up 30 clips and this and that, and you ain't got no life insurance on them.
This gang conducted wolf pack-like searches throughout the investigation.
Now, we're getting into all this, but first, check out my song of the day. This is my guy Millie's. Let's go.
I'm trying to send someone to urge him.
Yeah, we ain't tripping off that right there. You know what I'm saying? Let me slide through that right quick.
Can't wait to see Auntie now. Huh.
Because y'all all family.
Hey, yo, this right here, hold on. This right here is crazy, bro. This right here is crazy, man.
Because of block politics.
That's my cousin.
No, both of them are your cousins. Everybody's like, wait, hold up. They cousins.
These three dudes is cousins. They all from the same roundabout hood, but they in different cliques. They cousins, mothers and sisters. And these three was the main three dudes that was at each other.
They're going at it, but he's cousins.
Can't wait to see Auntie now. Huh.
Because y'all all family, technically, could you ever see all of y'all reconciling?
Nah, I don't think so.
Wow.
The music in the Bronx is super high energy, sometimes too high. Like these kids got ADD or something.
Family, you see what this internet do? It got family and kids really going at each other's head for these views, yo. This is a new day right here.
The Bronx has the biggest dropout rate in all of New York, and it's becoming a problem. You got kids going to school in rival territories.
My man said why he said he think these little dudes got AD.
All family, technically, could you ever see all of y'all reconciling?
Nah, I don't think so.
Wow. The music in the Bronx is super high energy, sometimes too high. Like these kids got ADD or something. You can't
understand.
Bronx has the biggest dropout rate in all of New York, and it's becoming a problem. You got kids going to school in rival territories with different campuses getting metal detectors in them to squash gang shootings.
OIK, you heard?
But now it's crazy how they got metal detectors in the black hoods. But these white suburban schools, like my last video, the girl going up in there shooting up kids, no none of that, no police. They got police and everything in the hood. That's why you can't go shoot up a school in the hood, because the police, they're watching the kids.
This, of course, is the rapper Shaik, with 100 million views on YouTube in 2 years of rapping, coming out of the Cortlandt projects in the South Bronx, aka home of extortion. In 2009, the Cortlandt Homes was subject to a police sweeping called Operation Bad Apple, which took down 52 people for racketeering and gang conspiracy. The NYPD even went on to build a police building right across the street from the projects called PSA 7, even though a precinct and a Bronx borough court are literally a few blocks away. Cortland's home to popular rappers like B-Love and Shaik. Shah, who's known for having a deep-ass voice that doesn't really match his face, went to the rival school in Mott Haven campus, just 9 minutes away from his hood, where he would bug out towards any kid that repped the rival gang.
And if y'all notice, this vicinity they was in was just like in Chicago, 61st, 63rd. All of them was right there together. So that's the setup, man. We all right here together going at each other here. Yeah, they don't see the bigger picture, bro.
The YG.
New York, Chicago.
He was making posts talking about YG killer, even hopping on Instagram lives at 12 years old, saying directly to a YG kid named Wulati that he was gonna spare him.
What's up, Via Wulati? Yo, he said, what's up, Via Wulati? I know. I'm not gonna jump you on the jump nuts.
5 years later, Wulati would get murdered. See, the Young Gunners, or the YGs, is an infamous Bronx-made gang which started in 2003 in the Ma Haven houses and the Patterson houses, just 10 minutes away from Cortland. 2 detention centers in the Bronx, Horizons and Crossroads, were breeding grounds for gang recruitment. And the YGs were formed to combat the overwhelming numbers of Bloods in adult jails like Rikers Island. At one point, the YGs had dozens and dozens of different sets, all banging under its umbrella, with all sorts of different hoods spread out throughout the Bronx, forcing other blocks around them to create their own gangs in response to combat the YGs. You can even see this in the classic South Bronx joint, Shot Caller, from French Montana. In the video, French is surrounded by YGs, and here you can see the leader, Drew Hef, who was killed a few years later at Club Tropicana, beaten on the head with the glass base of a hookah pipe. And when the glass shattered, his ops used a metal rod inside the hookah to continue pounding his head, leaving Drew Hef drenched in blood. He died in a coma a week later. The youngsters who oppose YGs often see this event to antagonize them. YGs were notorious for violence.
Man got beat to death with a hookah thing. Now that's wild. You know what I mean? That's wild right there.
Locals remember a horrific event that took place on April 16th of 2012 when a gang of YGs were drinking liquor on a hazy night, discussing who was the toughest in the crew. This crew of YGs made a 7-minute walk and stormed their rivals on Cortland Ave to see what they could catch. The Cortland buildings were empty, except for one kid, a 16-year-old named Noah Bala, aka Moses, was alone walking. Probably weighed about 90 pounds soaking wet. The YGs chased him, kicked him to the ground, stomped him to death. Kids from the Cortland projects hold Noah's name in high regard. Be Love, whose hit song, If You Know, You Know, got 16 million views when it was released 2 years ago. He actually confronted the brother of a YG's member that killed Noah outside in front of the Metro Court as this guy was waiting to be tried for a different murder of another Cortland youth named Yellow.
Come across the street. I can't even score with it. God, why can you throw that up one more time? What the fuck are you talking about? What you talking about? Come across the street.
The Bronx is so crazy. Dudes will get active in the courts, outside the courts, in front of police. They don't care.
Come here, Sean. I'm coming to court tonight.
Now, Noah's death is brought up in dozens of drill songs, all to disrespect him in the Cortland projects. Notorious YG rapper D-Thang.
They use Noah like the other was used Tuka. You know what I'm saying? Similarities, bro.
Out of the River Park Towers, a YG stronghold in the West Bronx, made the song Wedgie Man This, Wedgie Man That. In it, D-Thang has a cold-blooded line talking about the beating of Noah.
Just once I always like a fidget. Every catch I'll be going like that midget. So jelly fall back, I'm a clip.
That song is riddled with disses. The title itself sounds funny. Wedgie Man This, Wedgie Man That. It's a direct shot at Shy EK, the rapper.
Yo, the narrator get it in, man.
From Cortland, who was caught on camera.
Shout to Trap the Geek.
Getting a wedgie.
Drag him, yo!
Do you like my new song?
Wedgie Man This.
Wedgie.
Now, D-Thang's home, RPT, the River Park Towers, alias the Death Towers, encompasses 2 44-floor buildings and 2 38-story buildings standing over the Harlem River. 8 years ago, the feds took down 20 of their top guys, wiping out the leaders, hiring security guards, and installing cameras to stop people from dealing drugs right outside. Then, the kids took over.
Kids took over, bro. And New York is an island. That's why all the water. But the kids took over, like they said.
It's my brother.
No structure, no order. This just the kids running wild. This is what they do.
For life, forever.
they continued drug dealing, robbing. The feds were actually finding illegal weapons in the music videos, then tying them to shootings.
You got shot, is that true?
Yeah, we know. What about mother we know?
New York has always had very strict gun laws. People wanted to know how these kids were getting their hands on weapons. Ghost gun.
New York, like Chicago, strict gun laws. You know what I mean? They can't get gun permits like we can in GI, Minnesota, certain other states. New Yorkers are no carry. That's why I was saying, Charleston, you ain't going there with no pistol. But New York is one of them states. They like Chicago, but just like Chicago, if they got that money, they getting them thumpers.
These untraceable firearms made from parts you could purchase online. It's been wrecking havoc in the city.
If you're a child, if you're a convicted felon, you can go online and purchase these parts, get the parts, construct the firearm.
Serial numbers, untraceable, no background check, nothing. That is a problem.
The whole of 2021 was crazy. As the feds were tuning into Instagram lives, you could see stuff like rapper D-Thang with his own cousin, K-Flock, flashing out on each other for a live audience.
Your money, don't do that, money. Don't do that, money.
If I see Stunner, you know I'm a whack him. Fuck that.
Flashing
You know I'm
out
a
for
cut.
you,
You saw
bro.
my energy last time I saw you, Stunner.
K-Flock is literally D-Thang's blood cousin.
Now, yo, this dude right here, K-Flock, this is the one. To me, this is heavily, he wanted to be King Von. He had a King Von influence, bro. This dude, all the YGs who was the biggest gang, he went at them. This little dude was wild. Listen to his story.
Cousin, coming from the famous Little Italy part of Central Bronx, near the 48th precinct. K-Flock's own mom pretended in an interview not even to know who D-Thang was.
Him and D-Thang are cousins.
I don't even know who that thing is. I'm the mom and I'm confirming it. That.
But now you see his problem. His mama getting right in the mix. That's the problem, man. Y'all mothers and hood mothers, man, stay out these kids' shit. Get out the streets. You had your day. You come on, man. I see part of his problem.
That's nowhere near related to me at all.
His gang, DOA, or Dead on Arrival, is an allegiance of 5 blocks, all of which are surrounded by YGs and Drillies, a vicious gang of Bloods that also oppose K-Flock and his gang, DOA.
Come outside, Flocka. Come play. Come play today. You always playing on the internet. I want you to come play today.
Now, because the fans knew K-Flock as a crash-out specialist who would film his gang endeavors all for social media, this resulted in all his music getting more and more views.
Let me tell y'all what he did, bro. This nigga gonna call me to a mansion party full of hot. Yo, I was there. We was in there, but who was there?
That's what I'm saying.
I knock in there. Right or wrong, no.
Nigga do extension.
Now, this would make his rivals upset, jealous. K-Flock would bring them into Instagram Live just to argue with them.
Bro, y'all scariness. I was finally You never did nothing to me though. Really never did nothing to me.
That kid he was talking shit to is Rajiz, a YG member from the 800 block, literally a 15-minute walk away from K-Flock's hood. Now, just 2 weeks after they had that argument on Live, this YG kid Rajiz would preview a track called Real Facts, where he was going after K-Flock.
Hey yo, kicking out, let's with the facts. Anytime that they try to backs, he blew you and kill you, ain't smoking on Mac.
While this was going on, the feds were catching these same YG kids on surveillance cameras, carjacking Toyota Camrys, Mercedes-Benzes, even robbing someone at gunpoint. A month later, on July 11th, those same YG goons
all that killing and they doing petty crimes. Y'all need to be selling big drugs for bail, because doing all that and stealing cars, that wasn't even adding up, bro. Y'all was in the streets all wrong.
Hunting in DOA territory, K-Flock's neighborhood. They only had to drive 6 minutes before stumbling upon a 13-year-old kid named J-Rip, who looked up to K-Flock with huge admiration. One kid hopped out of a black Honda Accord that had 3 orange racing stripes on its hood. The kid aimed his pistol, unloading into J-Rip, who stumbled into this cafe, Angels, bled out, and died in front of customers. The same cafe, Angels, where K-Flock and Shaike were hanging out on a live stream a few months ago, right across the street from K-Flock's apartment.
Word to the God. Don't slide. Don't try to do some stupid shit.
Word of J-Rip's murder got out quickly that day. The kid Rajiz, who was on live with Flock a few months prior, was now on social media mocking J-Rip's death. 7 hours later, Jay's friends went off to retaliate. They found Rajiz in a private Uber on the phone. 2 shooters on a scooter pulled up next to him, opened fire through the window, hitting him in the head and torso, killing Ra instantly. And all this happened in Mount Hope, a mile out from J-Rip's murder scene earlier that day. Ra's family learned about his death from a friend who was on the phone with him at the moment he was killed. Revenge does not heal losing loved ones, but Flock's fame was exponentially growing. He got an offer for his very first show, upstate in Poughkeepsie, 2 hours out of New York City, where locals targeted him.
And this little dude was getting
right away. 5 people were found shot, 1 stabbed, right outside the club Revel 32. As security at the venue scrambled, turning his tour bus into a makeshift ambulance, transporting victims to the hospital. The tour bus got shot up as well, because the people that were doing the shooting thought that K-Flock was inside it.
Most of these victims were occupants of a private bus that had been identified as being in multiple locations here in the city of Poughkeepsie.
But he managed to escape unharmed. The next day, K-Flock would pop out at Rolling Loud, New York for a surprise performance.
It's a surprise performance, the next stars in New York, K-Flock and B-Love.
But he got into a brawl with another Bronx artist as their entourages clashed, thus banning Flock from the festival for life. All this beef had just boosted his profile. That same night, he would drop the song Being Honest with G Herbo, which now has 25 million views on YouTube. It was like K-Flock was on top of the world, but he was still doing drills.
G Herbo, Chicago.
6 days later, he was in a rental car with his boys, driving to his cousin D-Thang's building, the River Park Towers, spotting an op, shooting them on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. You'd think it would stop there, but no. The next week, undercovers pulled K-Flock over in Yonkers, finding a gun in his sock, which if you know New York laws, carries a 3 to 5 year sentence. The very next day, he was bragging about buying a new gun. You're thinking this might stop, and it will. Getting close to Christmas, on December 16th, 2021, K-Flock walked past the barbershop in Harlem early in the morning, had a standoff with this man, pulled a pistol out, and shot him dead. The rapper in the city with the most buzz, caught on surveillance video, wearing designer clothing from head to toe, shooting a rival, and the shoes he's wearing in surveillance video.
He got some $300 Jordans and his face covered.
That day are the same unreleased Jordans he was showing off for social media just a few days before. The craziest part is the guy Flock's booked for killing comes from a set in Harlem that have the same enemies that K-Flock has. Geographically, they have the same rivals. They both beef with YGs and Drillies. Flock began beefing with this set in Harlem called the OIs because one of their rappers, E-Dot Baby, was seen at a party smoking on Instagram Live with some YGs.
Yo, this shit, why do this shit got 300 views?
So Flock turned on him, gathered his posse, and made one of the coldest Bronx drill songs yet, called Brotherly Love. With this towards this Harlem set, the OIs.
Niggas talking fuck he wanna do. He chill with them op niggas. Whatever they throw up, I'm dropping it too.
Shy K, the rapper from Cortland, would side with E-Dot Baby. So in turn, he would start beefing with Flock, and Flock would start beefing with him. Both of them releasing diss tracks, with Flock saying he was smoking on Shy K's dead father.
He said he's smoking with his father. He didn't even say nothing about that. They go too far with that. They go too far with that one. I just must say that smoking. We kept the game a little more respectful.
With bad dad, y'all deviated. But free, you know what we're gonna do? We gonna be the 5th dad giveaway member.
Interestingly, just minutes before Flock pulled the trigger at that barbershop, killing the man, he had logged onto FaceTime to talk directly to his rivals, brandishing his gun. And he was filming at the exact same stoops where E-Dot Baby, the rapper from Harlem, had filmed a music video 1 year prior called Ready for War. Slowly, one by one, the Bronx was following the Brooklyn scene, with all their rappers getting wiped out by police indictments. 5 months later, the Drillies would get taken down in a massive RICO case, booking 20 people for murder, conspiracy, racketeering, and gang activity. Not even a month later, D-Thang, along with 22 of his guys from RPT, would get swept up as well. Then if you thought the scene wasn't toxic enough, 6 months later, the young rapper from Harlem, E-Dot Baby, would commit suicide, which has fans still wondering to this day why that happened.
He couldn't take the pressure. It was too much killing and drilling going on for him. He took himself out. The man, the D-Thang, that's the K-Flock cousin. Now he locked up. The dude K-Flock just out murking and lurking, looking for whoever. They crazy. Just, hey man, but this is what it is. You know what I mean? And they want y'all OGs to talk to these dudes.
Happened. Fast forward to this year, February 2023, and K-Flock, who was already sitting in prison for murder, would be one.
Now this the K-Flock dude. Now he locked up. Now he just got locked up. Like at the sometime last year, he got locked up for that murder. So now he in there waiting on that. Like King Von, my man right here, could have been a winner, but now you a chicken dinner locked in a cell. Only difference with him and Von, he's still breathing. So he got a chance to some way, somehow try to right his wrong. But my man flashed, and we don't know what this is. Drop something in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. But they tried to go the way of, seeming like to me, man, the Chicago influence is heavy on them. In the Midwest, we influential, baby, and they don't understand that gangster politics. Chicago, Gary area is one of the main areas, no Bloods, no Crips. Stayed on structure, whatever it was, it grew into what it was, Hoover and them. That's all that, Jeff Ford and them, you know what I'm saying? Bobby Gore, all that is real deal. And that influence is crazy how it went to New York. I seen it come out to the East Coast. And these kids, they gravitate to some, but they also took the no structure that little ones had. They got back at the crib. They then took the lawlessness that they got back, non-respect. Now, that's just a generation thing. And this is what we got. These is the kids got to reach. This is little Johnny you got to try to talk to and stop him from murking and lurking, bro.
One of 7 DOA members named in a federal indictment spanning from 2017 all the way to 2023. This is the New York drill scene in a nutshell. Every few years, a scene pops off from one of the boroughs. Rappers make a huge wave, and then it all comes crashing down.
Basically, that's it, bro. Like they say, every few years, new scene, rapper come out. The next thing they know, it's crashing out. And that's pretty much it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to know what y'all think about that, man. What y'all think about that, man? Is these guys more so like, are they more so like trying to be too much like the Chicago scene, bro? Seem like to me, it's just a heavy influence. It's a heavy influence, man. You got to really tap in, and you trying to reach these kids. You better understand what you're trying to reach, understand what you're trying to do. While you trying to reach them, they reach you. feel what I'm saying? So if you ain't in that state of mind, hear my man K Flock. He had the song with Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing some things. You know what I mean? And for him to throw it all away, chasing that dream, wanting to do what he want to do, wanting to be that street, hey man. It ain't nothing nice, bro, but I'm going to keep it real with you. If all these kids out here, that was a lot of life insurance policies that could have, if they want to throw their life away, you put some life insurance into them and invest that in them, because half of them probably left kids behind. So when you got a kid like that that's out there running them streets, parents, family members, friends, your girlfriends, put life insurance on them, especially if you got to get back. So it's just about, because life goes on. And when somebody want to crash out, yo, my man, K Flock, yo, man, I hope you get it together, man. We're going to pray for the brother, man. But he was a rider, but seemed like to me, this one right here, King Von, I see a lot of similarities, man. What y'all think, man? Drop something in the comments. And what y'all think about your man, K Flock, and that NY drill scene? Is it something that's here to stay? Or is it something that's for, a fad that we hope go away? You know what I mean? Let me know, man. Chief for life, baby. Drop something in the comments, man. We out. You know what I mean? That's crazy right there. Real talk.